Hey everybody, thanks so much for joining us for the Vision meeting on 2019. Well, as many of you know, about a year ago, we were faced with a major decision here at Frankenmuth Bible Church. As more and more families were coming to our church and people were hearing the good news of Jesus Christ, we came to a point where we realized that if this was going to continue, that we needed to figure out some plans because we couldn't continue to expand our reach on Sunday mornings. We were running out of space. As people packed into the worship center and children filled the classrooms and we had no more space for parking, we realized that God was calling us to figure out a plan to go somewhere, and we needed to take some bold steps. Now, for those of you who were here at that time, you know that that was a unique season because we really didn't know where God was leading. In fact, when we started to launch a campaign, we called our campaign Beyond because all we knew was that God was calling for us to go from here to find a new physical location, but we didn't know where it was. And so we launched a campaign last fall, and many of you who were here, you stepped up in a big way and you supported this vision that we had to go reach more people with the good news of Jesus and to go further with the gospel. And you pledged, and we ended up raising over $1 million in pledge support last fall to fuel this vision we had. And then a couple weeks after the campaign wrapped up, we ended up finding a location downtown, and God provided the location at just the right time and at just the right price. And then in the early part of 2019, for those of you who are with us, you know that we purchased a facility downtown. And that Main Street facility, over the last several months, we've been working hard to renovate and get that building prepared for worship in the coming year, in 2020. And we're going to hear more about that a little later in the Vision meeting as Mike Dom is going to share with you some specific details and give you a tour of the facility. But I just want to remind you of some of the incredible things that God has done over the last year, not just with the building, but in many other ways. Over the past year, we've seen so many cool things happen. We saw over 400 of you join us in Vassar as we did the effort of Serve Vassar there and really showed the love of Jesus to a neighboring community, and that was awesome. And then right around that time as well, about 1,300 of us gathered under one roof for Easter at FBC, and we were able to share the gospel with more people in one location and one moment than ever before, as we got to talk about the good news of Jesus Christ and the hope of the resurrection with so many people. And so not only that, we've seen since then many new families come to the church, people who've come to know Jesus Christ as their Savior. We've seen several baptisms at this church, and so it's just been a really good year, and God has blessed us. Well, now, as we continue to look at what he's doing, we realize that over the past year, he's done some great work, but the year is not over yet. In fact, right now at this time, this fall, we've continued this vision and this mission of trying to reach more people with the good news of Jesus. And because we're not in our new facility yet, we've had to make some adjustments over these next few months to prepare for more growth. And if you've been with us, you know that we launched a third service recently. Several weeks ago, the third service launched. It's an 8:15 a.m. service, and in order to make that happen, it required a number of volunteers who are willing to faithfully serve every week, and so I just want to thank any volunteer who's helped to make that happen. It also took 100 of you to sign up and say that you're going to be willing to worship with us for the 8:15 a.m. service every week, and you've been doing that, and so we just want to thank you as well. These efforts, your efforts, have helped make more space this fall for more families to come to FBC, and we're just so thankful for that. Now, I want to share with you a little more detail about ways that we've tried to make space this fall as we've continued to try to reach more people. One of the things that you may have noticed is that we launched a parking ministry. And so each week we have wonderful volunteers who are ready and willing to do whatever it takes to try to park more cars and to greet more people in the parking lot every week. And so as you've come in, you've probably noticed our parking ministry who faithfully serves every week. They're doing a phenomenal job. And we really believe that that's made more room for families who've come to join us and that people actually have space to park. That's a big deal. Not only have we done a parking ministry, but many of you have also noticed the black drapes that we have here in the worship center. So each Sunday we have some black drapes that are covering a section of seats. And some of you have wondered, why we're trying to do that and what the black drapes are all about. And that's just an effort that we're trying to make to seat more people from the front of the worship center to the back of the worship center. And while we don't have the answers for the best way to do that, we know that if we just leave the seats available for people to sit, normally what happens is people fill the back first, and the last rows to be filled are the front 3 rows. Well, the reason that we're doing the drapes and the reason we've just been trying to do these different efforts to seat people differently in the Welcome Center is because for us, when a new family shows up, if they ever come in late, which often happens with new families, they don't know what to expect, they don't know the check-in process, so once they get all that squared away, sometimes they come in here late. Unfortunately, what often happens is if there's not space in this room, they end up kind of taking that march of shame all the way to the front, and they sit in the front row in the middle of the service, and that can be a difficult thing. That's not a really good way to welcome a guest into our church. And so because of that, because we don't believe that that's okay, this is why we've taken this effort to try to seat people differently. And so as we're kind of trying to figure out the best way to do that here at FBC, we just want to ask a favor of you, that if there are groups of you at each service, especially the people who arrive first, if you would be willing to take the time to sit in the front 3 rows first, that would help us enormously. That would really help us to seat our guests and to seat people in this room well, and to make sure that when the service begins, there's still space in the back for families to sit down. That would be a huge thing. So just want to ask for some of you to maybe commit to doing that. But that's another way that we can make space for more people during the season. In addition to that, one other way that we've made space this fall for people is through the addition of a 3-year-old classroom that we recently opened up. Now, many of you probably have heard about this classroom. This used to be a large storage closet in our education wing, and now that we have the new facility downtown, we have the space available to move some supplies from this building to the other building, which made room for another classroom. And so through the efforts of some of our amazing children's ministry team, through our children's co-directors, Corey McCubbin and Amber Duran, and also their assistant, Mary Prill, and a number of awesome volunteers, we have made space and prepared an awesome room in that education wing, and each week a number of 3-year-old children are able to be in there, and we've separated that very large class, the 2- and 3-year-old classroom, which is huge. We've separated that and made plenty of space, and so now we can continue to expand even with more kids on Sunday morning. And so all these efforts that we've done, this is just a way to continue to reach more people until we get to the Main Street facility. And so the bottom line is we are planning to try to carry out our vision to see people saved, connected, matured, and multiplying, not just in the future, not just next year with a new facility, but even this year with our current facility. We're still trying to carry out that mission and make space for more families. Now, because we've talked about what's happening this year, we're also so excited about what's happening next year. And so I'm really excited at this moment to share with you some great information about the new facility, about what's happening at our downtown Main Street location, and also to share with you a little bit about our finances. And so at this point in the video, I'm going to turn things over to Mike Dom, and he's going to share with you more information about our finances and about what's happening on Main Street.
Thanks, Pastor Joe. Hey everyone, my name's Mike Dom. I'm the elder chairman this year at Frankenmuth Bible and also the project manager for the new building. And today I'm going to give you a quick update on how things are financially, as well as an update on the progress on the new building. Financially, 2019 has been a good year. Giving is projected to be up about 20% over last year, which is right in line with where we expected. And spending is right in line with budget as well. We did have some unanticipated expense due to the tax liability on the building, but that's been pretty much covered by the sale of the furniture that was inside the building, so it's pretty much a wash. The Beyond campaign is a little bit behind where we expect it to be right now, but with end of year giving, we expect that we'll make up that ground pretty easily. The elder team has prepared the 2020 budget with input from the ministry leaders, and we're trusting that God will again supply our needs as we press forward, proclaiming the name of Christ in this area and beyond. Our weekly need for 2020 is $14,400 per week for general fund and about $4,300 for the Beyond campaign to meet our budgeted needs. And speaking of seeing what God will do, let's take a look at what He has done and the progress we've been making on the new building. Starting off down in the basement, all the walls are complete and painted, and rooms are ready for carpet, which will start on Sunday, November 10th. On the first floor, the Welcome Center is moving along nicely. The airlock is installed, the walls are mostly painted, the cabinet installation is in progress, most lights are installed, and the carpet is on site and awaiting installation. The foyer area is in progress as well, as drywall gets hung and electrical lines get rerouted. The worship center is still a ways from completion, as you can see, but great progress has been made in the demolition process. The vault door removal was a massive undertaking. We were unable to sell it due to not being able to get it out in one piece. The floor wouldn't support that kind of weight. It took 3 days of cutting in order to safely get it out in 4 pieces. The structural steel is ordered and we'll be removing the concrete walls of the vault while we await the steel. December will be a busy month in this area. Up on the second floor, walls are built and partially drywalled. As soon as door frames arrive, we can finish up this area. We expect this area to be nearly complete by December 1st. Outside, our new entrance and sidewalk are done. Just need a few lights in and this area is complete.
Thanks, Mike. Well, before we wrap up this video, I have one more exciting thing to share with you this fall. It's an opportunity for you to participate with us in a very important initiative. So, as you can see in this room, this is going to be the future worship center. And in this room, we've ordered 500 chairs to come and fill this room for worship in the future. And the cost of each chair is about $180. That's the installed price for each chair. And so in an effort to recoup some of those costs, because that's a needed expense, and that's $90,000, which is a big part of this renovation budget, in an effort to recoup some of those costs, but also in an effort to be intentional about saying, hey, we want to reach more people with the good news of Jesus. We have a campaign that we're launching this fall over the next few weeks, and we're calling it the Share a Chair campaign. And so here's how it works. We want you to think of an individual or maybe a few different people that you would love to have come to FBC at some point. Maybe it's a friend or a neighbor, somebody who's far from God or somebody who you've invited for a long time. And we want you to, number one, begin to pray for that individual or for those people faithfully. We want you to pray during the duration of this renovation project that those people could come join us at some point. And so that's the first step. The second thing we want you to do is we want you to provide a chair for that person. And so basically it's just a symbolic way of making sure that you're committed to praying for that person, but you can fund a chair at the amount of $180 per chair to try to support and recoup the costs for this project. And so we've made it really simple. This is how you do it. You can go in the Welcome Center and pick up one of these envelopes. On the front of the envelope, it says how many chairs you want to sponsor. So again, that cost is $180 per seat. And on the back, there's a blank spot for you to fill the name of the individual that you are committing to pray for during this campaign. And so we would like you to fill this out. You can give this way. We've made it really simple. You can also give on our mobile app. So all you have to do is open up our mobile app. On the Sunday morning tab, you'll notice that at the very top, there's a Share a Chair campaign link. You just click that button and you can give right online. Or if you want to check out our website and go on your computer or on your smartphone, you can just type in frankenmuthbible.com/chairs, and you can go right to that link and give online as well. But that's a way for you to contribute toward the expense of this renovation cost so we can recoup some costs, but also to be intentional about reaching more people with the good news of Jesus. And just to let you know, these gifts that are given, we're not saying that this is going to replace normal giving in any way. These gifts also shouldn't go toward your pledges. If you've already made a pledge toward Beyond, this does not replace your pledge giving. This is an over and above ask. because we know in order to complete this project, it will take some more finances. And so that's a way for you to continue to be on mission and to give back. And just one more quick thing, if you're kind of wondering more about these chairs, we have a sample of 2 of the chairs in our Welcome Center this Sunday and over the next few Sundays for you to come, to sit in, to check out, and to experience and to see the kinds of chairs that you're funding for the future. And so again, we're so excited and so glad that you chose to join us for this video and to check in and to see our vision we have for the future. We truly believe that God is doing awesome things here, and we're excited to see what's in store for 2020. So thanks again for joining us, and God bless.